we're going to continue with what I just spoke of a minute ago, and that is love thy neighbor. Why on earth would we be told to do that when our most of our neighbors are so annoying? Why would God, for the love of God, why would you give me a commandment to love you? That God I can, because I don't have to put up with you on a daily basis if I don't need to. I can call you in when I want and when I don't, but my neighbor, he's always there. He's always looking at me. He's there when I leave in the morning. He's there when I come home at night. He's just there. So your neighbors, God's saying, love your neighbors as yourself. Well, if you don't love yourself, you don't even have a clue how to love your neighbors, and there's the problem. Until you can start loving yourself, how can you love your neighbors? Start loving yourself by understanding God gave you the best neighbors that He could. Every one of you living wherever you are right now, whether it's an apartment or a home or a semi, you are attached and you are beside the exact neighbors you need to have beside you, because they're your village, because they're your community. It's because they're where you originated from, only it's hidden from you now in your awareness, and you just see them as annoying, or maybe some of you have great neighbors that you love. Oh my God, look at me, not even allowing that for a possibility. What if some of you have and are in communities where you love your neighbor? Oh my God, then you're blessed. If you're in a community where your neighbors love you and you love them, then you are blessed, and God lives in that neighborhood, and may God bless it. And how He blesses is with the mind, thought, and the knowing within every neighbor that they're living on heaven and earth, and they're really just happy to be in this neighborhood, and they don't ever want to leave. You know what? People used to cry when they had to move neighborhoods. People, if their husband got transferred and they were in a good neighborhood, or people got older and their kids maybe made them move to a different place to be closer to them, or whatever reason, if you're really in a beautiful community, you love your neighbor, then you don't ever want to leave. You want to love them and support them. All right, I have to say this. Last night, watched the video, Waking Ned Devin. Wanted to watch it. Because it was about winning the lottery, and oh gosh, golly, don't we all want to do that. And it's about a community that discovered what happened when you did. And now we go on an adventure to a small town, Tullymore, with wonderful, wonderful characters. Oh, what great characters they give us to love in that town community. Even they give us a witch. And they give us the saints, the angel Michael and the Saint Jackie. And those two characters go off on an exploration because they're older in life and they're full of piss and vinegar, and they got nothing to lose, and they're 80, and it's like, we're going to risk the whole roll. We're going to roll it all on this. Let's just go for something and make a dream make a dream possible that we all thought was impossible. So they get a chance, they get a ticket, they get an opportunity to claim a prize. And when they realize that once they find out who's holding the prize, and the only way to claim the prize is to take everybody with them, is to share the community that they're in, to share their good fortune with them all. And at first they were thinking they're going to keep it to themselves. Well, maybe that's normal to think that. But then when circumstance and universe sets in with its lesson of, hey, you're going to benefit more if you share than you do if you keep it all. And then they started loving their community. They started talking to them all and buying them a pint where he never did before. Like, why didn't you? Because he wasn't loving them fully is why. And then once he thought he could gain from it, from someone else's win by sucking up to them, he landed with nothing. But then he opened up his house. He had everyone over for dinner. He had over to share community. And then you started to see them suspicious of Jackie. Why are you being so nice now because you've never been this way before? It was Jackie's transformation. We witnessed Jackie's transformation from being the witch who we see at the end, who gets punted off the cliff because the town has no more need for her, because the witch and Jackie was stopping the flow for everybody. What a beautiful, beautiful message. We got to see Jackie, even to the point where he was given by God an opportunity to speak at his friend's funeral and have his friend present so he could hear how much he was loved, how important he was to him. Oh, what a blessing to go through life with a great friend who's always there. It's almost like one was Jesus, and one was his mirror half. One was the other who could see him for who he was, hold his hand throughout the journey, and be God for him the whole time, being his conscious, being the one that would make it happen, being the one that would stand by his side no matter what. So Jackie was always with God because he was always had his angel Michael with him. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. And then I watched the people in the village and how they treated one another. Even before they knew they had something to be gained by it. And that was, oh, good morning to you. You know, you have a lovely voice. Or don't you be having this? And aren't you good about this? They started to affirm each other's good. But they did affirm each other's good. But a little bit more when they thought they had something to gain by it. Is that our nature? We only do things when we have something to gain. And you know what? Maybe that's meant to be that way, so don't feel bad for it. Maybe it's when we go off in search of that, what's in it for me here? That God teaches us the lesson, what's in it for us. By you being great, it's better for all of us. By you coming forth as the real Jackie, which is really an honest man who loves dearly. By you coming forward and saying to God how lucky and grateful you are for the people in your life, giving thanks for them. It pulls everyone closer together. It allows everyone to see the good in their community and the good in others, and how you be a good neighbor. Start thinking about good thoughts about them. And think good thoughts about them so they stay with you. But when a neighbor leaves, maybe he's making room for someone who's a better neighbor. That you deserve to have a better neighbor. Yeah, I deserve to have good neighbors that will love me like I can love them. I deserve that. I deserve to have fun with my neighbors. I deserve to be able to see them at the end of the day and go, hey, so-and-so, how was your week? Did you get that problem straightened out at work? Oh, yeah, well, look, when you're done, come on over and have a beer. Let's catch up, see how your week's been. Be close to your neighbors. Be supportive. Think good things. If they have a problem, go over and help them. Go over and help them. And if you're a good neighbor, you'll give back. If you're not a good neighbor, you'll take and take and take and give nothing back. So maybe when a neighbor leaves, there's a reason for it. So bless it. Ask if you can help with it, if you need to let go of anything. But I had a great neighbor, and he decided to leave. And I was glad I got to know him. I think I'm guilty of not loving my neighbors on one side, or maybe across the street, because we've fought, we've had bad words. Never gonna talk to that asshole again. And we all do it. Well, it's there. So maybe if I just want to make the change that makes the world a better place, how I'll do that is start thinking good thoughts of my neighbors. Good thoughts from people who have positions of power over me. Good thoughts about people that may be withholding something from me, maybe withholding love. Yes. Yeah. Maybe I'll just have really good thoughts about somebody who's withholding love from me, who's not able to love me back right now. And just ask God to bless them, to watch over them. And please, God, work within those souls in my life who are hurt, who are sad, who are blocking off the love that I want to give them. Because at this time, they're not loving themselves enough so that they can receive it. So we ask, oh Lord, that you look to those Help them see their worth, their value. Help them stop withholding love from themselves to such a degree that they can't let yours in, but love them anyway. And let's just see our world change. Let's see if we cannot be the change by creating love and loving our neighbors, because they're going to show up the same way every day. This is how they look. This is what they do. And that's the secret to being good neighbors with your twin flame. Understand you've been brought together for a reason. Now stop looking at each other's faults. Stop fault finding. Stop saying, this is wrong with you, this is wrong with you. Yeah, well, you don't do this, and you don't do this, and you scare me when you do this, and you do this, and it's a pain being with you because it's exhausting. Yeah. All those things are true. All those things can happen. All those neighbors can be grumpy. It's when you begin to look at the person the way they are and go, they're always going to stay that way, and that's okay. Because when they show up being their worst, I'll know how to protect myself. And I'll know that it's not me, it's just them being unable to express. And I'll love them because they're crying out for it because they don't know how to get there themselves. So, try to send love as best you can to people who are angry and hurt and isolating. Only because they need your love. All right. Thank you.